Heather, we've got some questions about forms now that are going to be in use with the new system. And someone wants to know if special pens are going to be needed to complete the form so the scanning can be as good a quality as possible.
No, you won't need any special pens. Normal black ink, which is the medical legal requirement now for paper case notes, that will apply.
Okay. And someone has got a particular concern about the fact that on current forms, not everybody completes the date, so it's sometimes difficult to match the information to the episode.
Yeah.
Will that still be the case with the new system?
That won't be a problem with the new system because each form that you download will have the patient details on it and the episode details on it in barcode format, and that will then get scanned in and you can search by that barcode format, so you'll be able to search for paperwork based on that individual episode.
Okay, and finally for forms, someone is interested in knowing if someone will be overseeing whether duplicate requests will be made for forms for a particular patient and how that will be managed.
Right. Okay. I believe that the portal system will be able to show you what forms have been downloaded, i.e. printed and awaiting scanning pending completion on the actual treatment of the patient. So I think that can be viewed, which takes the risk to be quite minimal of duplicating the form printing, because you're able to see what has already been printed.
Okay, thank you. Heather, on training, there seems to be some concern about who's going to be delivering the training, but also how we're going to cope with the regular changeovers of junior doctors and locum staff and things like that. So can you give us some idea of how we're going to organise that?
Yeah, the training plan hasn't actually been approved yet or even created, and that's because we want people within the task force to tell us how they feel the training should be delivered, the frequency, in what format, when. So all of that is open for discussion. But what I will say is that the training department, our internal training department, will be delivering the training, and we'll probably set up some sort of super user, like we have done beforehand when we've done changes to the PAS system. The super users have been available, and we will have to have training real time with the locum doctors or the registrars when they do their new intake. We'll have to do that real time with them to show them how to access the clinical information that they will need, and therefore the pathways will have to be available to them on the day that they start.
Okay, thank you. Heather, will visiting consultants have access to the system?
Yes. Anyone who has access to the paper notes will have access to the electronic scanning system.
You talk about the new temporary documentation and how it will flow with the system. What's this temporary documentation going to be called?
We'll be calling the on-the-day documentation event notes. So every outpatient attendance, admission will have an event note, and that's what we're sending for scanning.
Okay. Someone's raised a question about endoscopy processes, they're saying, how will they write reports following biopsies if they don't have the notes with them at the time?
Right. They will have the notes with them. It will be an electronic version of the notes. And in terms of writing the reports, we believe that a lot of clinicians will continue to use their existing systems, such as Unisoft, and the information from those electronic systems will be ingested into EasyNotes, which means they'll be automatically uploaded into EasyNotes so that those with appropriate security access can actually view the clinical information for that patient.
Okay, and still on a clinical theme, someone's inquired whether when consultants receive referral letters, they'll be able to grade those referral letters electronically in the future.
Yes, they will be. They'll be grading electronically in our own hospital referral management system, which is due to be developed over the next couple of months and hopefully will be going live before April 2011. So electronic referral management and prioritisation will be going live before EasyNotes goes live.
Okay, a very interesting question here that someone suggested that in the current financial climate, that money could be better spent on other things rather than implementing Easy Notes.
Right. Just to reassure you, the money that we're spending on the digitised version of our case notes is actually cheaper than running and providing a paper case note system, because as you can imagine in the future we won't have the need for huge libraries for paper case notes, so there is no additional cost to the trust. The one thing that might cost the trust is the impact in terms of kit, so PCs and printers. In terms of running the service, it will be cheaper than the existing system.
Okay. Another question about letters that someone deals with, and they envisage them being all scanned into the same letter sections regardless of the specialty.
Yes, I mean that is a problem at the moment. In the correspondence tab of the paper case note, all your clinic letters are in order, but not in specialty order. And what we hope between now and go live is that as that information and correspondence is generated, we will ask you to put in barcodes onto the correspondence that actually spell out what specialty. And then when we come to start scanning those records, at least we will know the piece of paper belongs to a specific specialty, and that will then be searchable on Easy Notes.
Okay. From time to time we get other hospital notes and forms that actually flow into the organisation. How's this going to work?
We call that loose correspondence, and it would be the same as dealing with an event note, but we'll probably ask the receiver of that loose correspondence to put a barcode identifying the specialty or the type of form that it is, and that barcode then will be read by the scanning kit, and that will then make sure that the relevant forms go into the relevant place in the electronic version of the case note.
And will Obs and Gynae notes be kept separate?
No, they're not separate now. They used to be historically, but they are part of the main case note now within a separate tab, and that will remain on the digitised version, so there'll be a separate tab for obstetric case notes within the main Easy Notes.
Okay, thank you.